Back live here on In Focus, the Special Investigating Unit is closing their net on persons accused of looting the National Lotteries Commission. The Forensic Investigation and Litigation Agency says it has completed 90% of its Phase 2 investigations into the lotteries regulator. The probe implicates prominent figures in wrongdoing, including actress Terry Pheto and music producer Arthur Mafokate. For more on this conversation, joined now by Kaizer Kganyago, who speaks for the SIU. So, Kganyago, good to have you, and thank you very much for your time. Maybe by way of a little bit of background, how we get here, but also why, or let me begin by saying how the investigation is broken down into the 3 phases and why.
Good evening, and good evening to your viewers. Basically, when we started, the proclamation was signed in November of 2020, and then we went into the National Lotteries Commission, and we looked at the work that was before us. Therefore, for us to be able to deal with it, we then divided it into phases. Therefore, the first phase, where we looked at the amounts that were valuing about 279 million, that is what the first phase amount is, and then we have completed that part. And then we now went to Phase 2, which we are dealing with, and then with that one, the value of the investigation there is 246 million. That is the one where we are 90% complete. And then the third one, we have just started now, which is the bigger portion. The value of the investigation is 905 million rand. Therefore, we're hoping to finish it by the 31st of December, 2024, but the Phase 2 will finish by the 30th of April, 2024.
So let's talk then about the referrals. I think the biggest chunk of your social media, I suppose, is dedicated to the 2 Tsotsi actor and actresses and their involvement, but also, I suppose, the head then at the time at the NLC, his involvement, and these 2 chicken farms, or so-called chicken farms, that are intermingled into all these things. What did you find there, the specific offences that are in the NPA Act that would have led you to refer at least 8 matters?
Yeah, what happened here is this is a new NPC. It's not the one that we're dealing with when we're dealing with the house of Terry Pheto. This one is a new one that we're investigating. It is called Zipsy Pigs NPC. And this NPC applied to the National Lotteries Commission for chicken farming. And the application was approved, and they were given 5 million rand for that purpose. And then we found later on that there was a farm that was bought for that purpose in the Val, and that farm was bought by the person who signed the offer to purchase was the former chairperson of the board of the NLC, and then it was then given to Terry Pheto's sister by the name of Pheto. Therefore, we then followed the money to check whether it was intended to do what it was supposed to do, only to find that it went into different bank accounts. The biggest chunk of it, being the 2.8 million, went into a company called Sunguri Projects, whose sole director is Terry Pheto. And then the other company that also was owned by Terry Pheto is called Tsoseletso. It got some chunk of the money. And then there was a company that the director of which is Tula Cindy, also got about 140,000 rand. And the rest of the money went into companies owned by Pheto, and others went into the personal bank accounts of all of these people. Therefore, the whole 5 million rand went into these bank accounts, and that is where we are now in this investigation. Therefore, we have since referred this matter for civil litigation, and we have also made sure that there are criminal referrals that are sent to the NPA.
Yeah. Did the chairperson benefit personally out of that particular 5 million at all? Was there any money that was forwarded to him?
Yeah, in this particular instance, it doesn't look like there was money directly given to him. The money that was transferred to a company called Upbrand Property, which is owned by the former COO of the Lotteries Commission, Mr. Lotwaba, and his wife, and that was the money that was transferred into the conveyancing attorneys. Maybe it was used for the purposes of paying the conveyancer for the transfer of this farm.
Is this farm still in existence? I mean, was there ever a farm? Because it seems like this money went into bank accounts and so on and so forth.
The farm is there, but nothing happened on it. The farm was bought for 850,000 rand.
And no chickens were ever put in that farm?
Nothing.
So what are the specific matters then that you have referred to the ID in terms of unlawful activities? Which ones are in progress? Which ones have been put before the courts? Which ones are just maybe at matters that are under intake at this point?
Yes, the ones, you must understand that there are two processes that we do. Yeah. We deal with the courts through the civil action, and almost all of them are in the process or are already with either the tribunal or the High Court. Therefore, then there is a second element where we refer to the National Prosecuting Authority, and those that are there, the National Prosecuting Authority, they do further investigation in line with the criminality part of it. But we are only looking at these ones that we are having here. And therefore, what we were presenting to Parliament today was the issues that are new, like that one, the one that we were talking about. But we also talked about others, like the money that was requested by SASCOC on behalf of Shandukani Foundation, where they used SASCOC as a conduit to do a road show for Rio Olympics, which was not done. And they requested 34 million, they were given 28 million, and all that money just went into the bank account of SASCOC and straight into the Shandukani Foundation, and it was used for personal use. And we've got many of them. There's another one, for example, where we talking about the former board member of the Lottery Commission, who took money and said that he was going to, they applied for money, then they said he was going to use it for the Marikana women, poor women in Marikana and in the Northwest. And that money was then sent for other purposes other than what it was intended to do.
Yeah, it was another chicken farm project, I think, that one day in Marikana. But there's also the 15 million that was meant for an arts program that involves Presley. What actually happened there?
Yeah, on that particular one, it was the South African youth movement who applied for money on behalf of the foundation that was is managed by the actor Kganyago.
Yeah, Presley
Kganyago Foundation. Yeah. Yes, and then that money was then given to this South African youth movement, and then the money was intended to uplift people in that industry, but it ended up going into people's bank accounts, and some of the money went to Iron Bridge, and the other money was given to Professor Ndebutanda himself, and this is how all of that money was distributed, and this is really what we were presenting to Parliament today.
Yeah, a lot of people in South Africa, they understand the civil part, and you claim money and you get some money back. But they really want to see people being arrested. And so in these matters, they are very looking at the unlawful act and what actually are you saying the NPA must look at. Did yourself, in your own investigations, because you've got those powers, get to speak to any of the witnesses? Did they get to give you answers under oath as to what actually happened? So it's something a little bit tangible for the NPA to act on.
Yeah, we have provided some evidence, and we've given it to the NPA. The NPA was also there in Parliament today, and then they really confirmed to Parliament that they are looking into this matter. They've allocated resources on these matters that are coming from the Lotteries Commission, and they will do everything in their power because they don't want to make mistakes. And unfortunately, they have got to follow the processes. We will do what we're supposed to do, and they will do what they're supposed to do. But we have signed memorandums of understanding. We have agreed with them to say we will then deal with you on a continuous basis, where we understand how far you are. If there's anything you need from us, we'll be available to assist, and then so on and so on.
Kaizer Kganyago, appreciate your time. Thank you very much for coming on, sir. That's the spokesperson for the Special Investigating Unit.